In honor of springtime, we thought we'd do something a little different for this episode. I'm talking maybe a makeup tutorial or a DIY decorative mason jar video. April Fools! That stuff's nice and all, but let's be real. We'd rather talk about some of the wildest movie shenanigans. I'm Scott, and today Scarlett Media presents the top 10 movie pranks that save April Fool's Day. These pranks are so good, or perhaps so horribly wrong, that they'll leave you laughing till you cry, crying till you laugh, and so freaking thankful that you're watching from the safety of your own living room. Now, before we dive in, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you don't, we might just have to switch your toothpaste with foot cream. Number 10. Neighbors, the airbag scene. After more airbags are hidden in their couch cushions at home, the married couple gets in such a huge fight over their family's safety that they just about get divorced. You know a prank's pretty dang clever when it nearly breaks up a family. Number 9. Guardians of the Galaxy, the escape plan scene. When Rocket Raccoon says, "I'm gonna need a few things to implement the Guardians' escape from prison," the last thing the audiences were expecting, and the fellow Guardians, was that one of those things would be a prosthetic leg. And yet, that's exactly what he needed to steal. As he tells his gang, "That dude there, I need his prosthetic leg. God knows I don't need the rest of him. Look at him, he's useless." As if taking the dude's leg wasn't sick enough, once it's actually stolen, Chris Pratt uses the thing to beat a guard mercilessly. And I have to say, watching a dude get totally ripped apart with a metal leg is pretty humorous. Just saying. Oh, also, in Avengers Infinity War, Rocket totally takes a prosthetic arm from Bucky after asking, "How much for the arm?" Wow, his love for prosthetic limbs is pretty magical, honestly. Number 8. Dazed and Confused, the paddle prank. Who doesn't love when a bully gets what's coming to him? In this 90s classic, Ben Affleck plays the second-time senior who takes his dumb brain and low self-esteem out on all the underclassmen who are smarter and generally more prepped for life than he is. He's never happier than when equipped with a huge wooden paddle, which he likes to slap boys' butts with to remind them that they're losers. Well, in this particular scene, Affleck finds out who the real loser is when he's just about to push that paddle and a bucket of paint is poured all over his head. He goes on to throw a toddler-sized fit, which is pretty satisfying to watch, if I do say so myself. Number 7. Animal House, the horse prank. When you hear a line like, "Don't get mad, get even," you know some crazy stuff's about to go down. You hope that it won't lead to, like, death, particularly of an animal, but that's exactly what happens when a group of college friends break into a dean's office with an innocent horse and a gun filled with blanks. Now, we at Scarlett Media do not condone horse death of any kind, but we have to admit, it's pretty spectacular whenever a prank goes this terribly wrong. When you watch this movie, you'll want to set your morals to the side anyway, right? It's all fiction. Number 6. Knocked Up, Pink Eye. Talk about a prank gone too far. In this Judd Apatow classic, one harmless pillow fart prank leads to an entire house of man-children getting pink eye, except for one whose eyes are just red because of, another reason.
I'm just really...
This movie serves as a reminder not to fart on your friend's pillow, because as funny as it might sound in the moment, it won't be so fun when they get revenge on your own pillow and soon you're both stuck at home with swollen eyes and wondering when you lost control of your life. Number 5. Step Brothers, the house sale prank. You know when you were a kid and your parents decided to sell your family home? You were pretty devastated, right? Didn't want to say goodbye to the memories. Well, in Step Brothers, Brennan and Dale may be middle-aged, but they can so relate to that level of sadness. When Brennan's pretentious brother decides to sell his childhood home, he and Dale take it upon themselves to stop the sale from happening by, dressing like Nazis, KKK clan members, and, corpses. Pretty genius, really. Say what you will about Brennan and Dale's wits, but I'd say these two boys are a lot cleverer than their parents give them credit for. They should go into anti-real estate and work for all those sad kids who have to move. Number 4. The Help, the terrible awful. Oh man, nothing, and I mean nothing, is better than getting sweet revenge on a raging racist. Am I right? In this movie, Minnie, played by Octavia Spencer, works as the help for a truly awful racist white lady in 1960s Mississippi. And finally, she just can't take it anymore. After being unjustly fired from her position, she decides to take vengeance into her own hands and shows up at her boss's doorstep with a freshly baked chocolate pie. She watches her boss devour every bite while spewing more hate speech with a smug look on her face. Finally, the woman asks, "What do you put in here to make it so good?" That good vanilla from Mexico and something else real special. Let's just say the chocolate color comes from an ingredient post-digestion. Number 3. Borat. All of the scenes. Okay, well, both Borat 1 and 2 are pretty much 2-hour-long pranks in themselves, so there's truly limitless content to work with here. It's no secret that Sacha Baron Cohen is one of the greatest, if not the single greatest prankster of all time. Just look at the lawsuits. He's got, what, 7? Some of our very favorites are when Borat takes a chicken on the subway in the first film and has to try and catch it while he runs around the train to the horror and confusion of fellow passengers. There's also when he has to get a lesson on bathroom etiquette during an etiquette teacher's dinner party. Nothing, though, quite compares to the Rudy Giuliani fiasco in Borat 2, when the politician goes into a room alone with an actress disguised as a young blonde reporter and, well, makes a slimy move on her for all the world to see. You know, the best part of this genius's pranks is that they're all in the good name of taking down the patriarchy. We applaud you, man. Keep saving the world. Number 2. Carrie. Bloody Prom. This movie isn't exactly a comedy, and even the prank we're featuring here is far more disturbing than it is funny. Still, it would be a dishonor to the writers of that 70s horror classic if we didn't include arguably the most hellish prank of all movie history. This is the kind of prank that will leave you lifting your jaw up from the floor while simultaneously holding back tears. Because in this case, it's not the sweet taste of revenge you're getting, it's the sour taste left behind by vicious and ruthless bullies. Carrie finally gets a win when she's crowned prom queen, and just when you're cheering for her victory, she's doused in an entire bucket's worth of pig's blood. It's okay though, she goes on to murder the a-holes who did it. Before we reveal the number 1 prank to save April Fool's Day, go ahead and give us a subscribe. Remember, we aren't afraid to pull some pranks of our own. Number 1. Dumb and Dumber. The hot pepper scene. Okay, hear me out. This movie is jam-packed with pranks, and while most famous of the bunch might be that scene with the laxatives, you know the one, I'd like to argue that the real best prank of the film is the one involving hot sauce and, death. I've said it once and I'll say it again. When we're watching a movie, we want the pranks to go horribly, horribly wrong. Otherwise, what's the point, you know? In this scene, best friends Lloyd and Harry decide to play a simple prank by making the goofy, jerkish gas man eat a super hot pepper, unaware that he's got some serious digestive issues. He ends up dead in, like, seconds, and Lloyd and Harry just keep on laughing, not quite realizing that they're complicit in his murder. Dumb and Dumber, am I right? Now, because we at Scarlett Media love this holiday and just couldn't help ourselves, we've decided to include one real-life bonus prank for this special episode. This one's a doozy, guys, and one of our favorites and most wholesome fake feuds in all of Hollywood. Now, if you didn't know, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been pretending to have a rivalry for quite some time now, which basically just consists of a bunch of hilarious pranks on each other. It consists of wearing each other's faces on sticks and showing up in each other's hotel rooms as a surprise. Anyway, if you have Twitter, you probably already know all about it. But we'd like to reward our coveted Best Prankster prize to these two holiday frenemies. Who are your favorite celebrity pranksters? Let us know in the comment section and we just might agree with you. Thanks for watching and happy April Fools!